What is up, nation? We are back with a crew that just it's gonna be a night. Let's put it that way. We got my
Hmm.
boy Black, the quarterback,
Right, but I'm the
and then we got
receiver
somebody
tonight.
over here. I don't know, stirring up trouble already. Like it's
Let's
cool.
talk about it.
What's
Let's talk
up,
about it.
Raider Dawn?
Hey,
This
blessings to
boy.
everybody out there, man.
Yes,
Real though.
thank y'all for being here. Could have been anywhere. Chose to be here. What's up? Shout out to my boy Raider Ryan, to Daniel Berry Sports, to
Mm.
Robert Pena. What's up?
Oh, people
That's
pulling
that's two
up.
football knowledge peoples right here. So, you know, we're gonna have a good little conversation and we're gonna talk about these pass catchers.
Mm.
We're just gonna do each unit one at a time and look at the roster, tell us what we think it's gonna be, and then go from there. Right. Um right. Our roster has definitely evolved since last season. Um we added some guys and subtracted some guys as always. And I kind of want to just put a list up here. I'm trying to pull it up so we can kind of look at that. Um, Twan, any thoughts on just the pass catchers as a whole, what we did, where we're at, you know, what happened?
I think there's a lot of bodies in there, and I'll say that there's a lot of bodies in there. There is competition. You know what I'm saying? Anytime there's a bunch of bodies, there should be some competition. Um, some people that we may not like may be on the team, and there's going to be guys that we do like that may not be on this team, and that's
Mhm.
how the competition is going to end up going. But it's going to be exciting to definitely see during preseason because I'm definitely that's one of the rooms um, that I'm going to definitely be looking at if we
Mhm.
want this offense to take off like we expected them to take off last year.
Right. Yeah. I agree with that wholeheartedly. There's a lot of different names that we look at. Uh, so let's just take a look at the receivers right quick. So I'm gonna share my screen and we can look at that real fast. So, um, you know, so we got some. Should be two. So we have some options, right? Just at the receiver, right? Tre Tucker, the new kid Bech, Jakobi Meyers obviously is there, right? Donte Thornton Jr. I like a lot. We brought in Colin Johnson, big 6'5" guy. Kyle Phillips, who's played under Chip Kelly before at UCLA. Your quick little slot guy. Um, Zachary Franklin was an undrafted free agent for Illinois, but talented player. Tommy Mellett is that quarterback from Montana State, 4-4 guy. And then we still have some guys for depth, right? That probably won't make much of a difference. Shredrick Jackson and Alex Bachman. Okay. So there's that. Right? So I think this group has some room to grow. Let's put it that way, right? But there is some interesting talent kind of at the top of the group, right? Um, that really like Jakobi Meyers caught 100 ball last year, right? Um, and a lot of people were really interested in Bech, and I think that when you start to look at his tape, there's a theme of physicality um, all through the receiving core. Guys who can physically beat you, right? Either just beat you up, Brock Bauer style, or have you looking at shoe bottoms, right? Um, I think that's That's impressive. I'm what you want to bet, right? So, um, Jakobi Meyers, Bech, you know, Tre Tucker, right? Those are your top of the roster right now. And then you're looking at like Donte Thornton Jr. What does Colin Johnson do? You know, this kind of stuff, right? So um, I could see us adding one more veteran receiver, right? As we get closer to camp, just to add a little bit more experience to the group, and kind of give us some padding as far as like if we get an injury to one of the top three or something like that, right? What do you think, Mr. Quarterback?
So before I was a quarterback, I was a wide receiver, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was a first team all conference wide receiver at that.
Yeah,
Many moons ago, but not that many. But so wide receivers is something that I really pay attention to, kind of even more so than I do the quarterback position. So for these guys, I can't really say anything until I see them in like preseason. But I can't see, like, I seen some clips of like them in camp, and I don't know who number 10 is. Who's number 10?
10 would be probably Donte Thornton Jr. probably. Hold on.
I was gonna say, I think that's Donte.
Yeah, I think he took number 10. Right.
Okay, if that's so, I was seeing them doing these drills, and I'm just watching casually, and
Right.
and I'm watching how he catches the ball.
Right.
Well, I was watching the receivers catch the ball,
Right.
and I seen Jack Bech. Ain't that his name?
Bech, yeah.
Bech. Oh, okay, that's even better. Bech. Jack Bech, right? So I seen him. He big guy, right?
Yes.
So I seen him catch the ball and attack the ball when he catches it. You know what I'm saying? So I saw that, and I was like, okay, cool. That was for whatever it was worth, because the guy before that caught the ball, popped out his hands, caught it, and then went on, right? You caught it, but now it wasn't a clean catch, because in the NFL, that little bobble can turn into a hit, to an incompletion. Or it can turn into you bobble it, catch it, pull it in, you get hit, and the refs call it fumble because we're the Raiders. So, but I know it's just a drill. I know you can't catch everything the same way. It could have been reversed the play before that. I understand all that. I'm just saying, in the little microseconds that I seen, I was happy to see Jack Bech. He got that. You know what I'm saying? I could see he could catch the ball. Like really catch the ball. Because a lot of receivers catch it with their body. I won't say a lot. Some catch it with their body, and some catch it with their hands. And I like a hands catching receiver.
The point you made.
That was,
go ahead.
No, I was about to say, because that was one of the reasons why I didn't necessarily care for DK Metcalf, because he's like a body catcher, but he big, so you know he can kind of shield you off. But I still like a receiver that can do both. So I'm looking forward to see how he perform. He's probably gonna end up starting. Overall, for the projected starters, I like what I see. You know, projected starters. Jakobi, I think he's still gonna do fairly well. Bech, he gonna take some of the pressure off, and now we'll get to be able to see what Tre Tucker is really capable of, because we were using him in ways that we wanted to. He'd be the receiver that take the top off the defense, but you can't just run a receiver out there and do that all the time, because you kind of got to set that up. And even if you do run them deep, sometimes you got to run the underneath route, you know. So we're going to be able to see what he can really do, because I'm on the fence with him. I like him, like running, like intermediate routes and then sneak behind the defense with his speed. But as far as lining up and running that go route and then just try to outrun the defense, I don't think that's his strength. I'm not saying he can't do it. I just don't think that's his strength. But we'll see, because I don't really know yet, because we haven't had a full receiving core. Because with Brock Bowers in the mix, that's going to open up space on the field for us to be able to throw balls in areas and see what these receivers can do.
I think Black, and you said it about Tre Tucker. I think Tre Tucker is one of those ones that we really haven't seen the fullness of Tre Tucker, and it's for the fact of the poor quarterback play that we've had in that room. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna throw one quarterback under the bus. I'm gonna throw all the quarterbacks in that room under the bus. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there was periods of time where one like O'Connell or somebody let one fly and then Tre got under it, but that wasn't enough to cause a deep threat. If I'm a defensive player and know that the quarterback does not have a real deep ball, do you really think that I'm gonna, stretch the field, like, defensively? Like, no, I dare you to throw it over my head. You know what I'm saying?
Beat me with that then,
yeah. Please beat me with with the over the top throw. You know what I'm saying? So that was a lot. I think that was the biggest issue in regards to, Tre Tucker. And I think that's where a lot of people, even in RaiderNation, have lost the idea, because, they're like, oh, get rid of Tre. Like, no, Tre was doing exactly what he was supposed to do. Because if you go watch film, there was times where he was way open down the field and nobody can hit him. So he was doing his job, but if you ain't got a quarterback to throw it to him, it's going to fall on Tre, unfortunately.
Right. No, I didn't look at it last year, but I know in his rookie season, his yards of separation was crazy. So like he's getting open, right? And for a guy who has that kind of speed, the type of route running that he's capable of, snapping things off, he could go nuts in the Chip Kelly offense. Like if Chip Kelly decides this is his dude, right? His gadget player, look out on fantasy, right? But like, when you have this kind of setup, right? Tre Tucker's fast as hell, right? Bech is just a bully, right? Jakobi Meyers is just a hell of a route runner, catches everything, right? You add that with Bowers, and now you got like a real kind of diverse, set of receiving options, right? So we could really be cooking with something. And I didn't even talk about Donte Thorton Jr. So
but the issue with him is he's small. He's a small receiver, so you can only really do so much with him. Because when I'm saying running the intermediate routes, I mean like the deep ends. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, he'll probably be the receiver that clear out for that. Or I don't know what Chip Kelly gonna do, because he might run a couple receivers out and run him another way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think they're gonna scheme him the ball in space.
They have to, because he's 5'9". Like you gotta give him space.
And we had that role. You know what I'm saying? I think that role is open for us, because remember, we had DJ Turner last year. You know what I'm saying? And DJ Turner was that, sweep, gadget kind of type of guy. So you know what I'm saying? Tre can fall right into that. The other thing that I wanted to add in regards to Tre is that there's a slight progression in regards to Tre, because when he first came out, I loved his speed. I loved that he could run routes, but his hands weren't there. You know what I'm saying? He was like you said earlier about the other wide receiver. He was double catching things. And now you're seeing Tre, his hands are getting better as time goes by. So I'm one of those. I'll say, I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm definitely not trying to throw Tre, you know what I'm saying, immediately to the trash can.
Well, you can't get rid of Tre and DJ, because and it wasn't neither one of their fault. They did as expected. You know what I'm saying? They didn't underperform.
No, I would say I was very happy what DJ Turner did. And I, once a Raider, always a Raider, and like the fact that he finally got a chance to actually play on offense last year, dude, and then showed
Yeah.
out a little bit, that was cool as hell, right? He has a good reputation around the stadium. His family is well liked. Like, so shout out to DJ. And, like I said, once a Raider, always a Raider. And so that was cool to see. I just wanted to make that clear. And so, but I do think Tre can replicate all the stuff that was happening last year from DJ, and just be a little bit faster. So interesting. Interesting. Donte Thornton Jr. ran a 4.3 flat, a 1.51 10-yard split, and he's over 6'4", 6'5". I think there have been 3 players in history to do that. To be 6'5" and run a 4.3 or better.
That's who the deep threat needs to be.
Well, I think you met him. And I think Tre Tucker is going to get recast as the gadget guy.
Because even if, that's a guy that can run the deep end. You know what I'm saying? That's a guy that could take the top off the defense. It's a guy that can run the flag route. That could be that he could be the one who do that, because at that speed and at that height, the defense got to respect him. Like, the defense got to roll to him when he's running through their zone. Like, you have to, because he's big. Because if you throw it up to somebody 6'4" and the safety right here, he got the advantage. He has the advantage.
Yes.
So
he's open. If he's even, is leaving. I think that this is going to be one of those sneaky type players. I like this pick as much as I liked Tre Tucker as a pick. I think it might be something similar where we watch the progression kind of move through, and then we're able to focus on a player like really in his second or third year coming into his own. But I think he'll make plays as a rookie. I mean, 6'5", 4.3 flat. I mean, sometimes it's just that's all you need to know, right? Does he have a history of bunch drops? No.
Oh no, yeah. See, yeah,
he doesn't. He's showing some good production with his hands. You know what I mean? He doesn't fight the ball, that sort of stuff. The issue is just volume, right? But the production as far as big plays and touchdowns is crazy. We could go through the stats, but I think people have heard it a couple times already by now, right? I think that this could be something. Just because, like I said, 6 feet, 1.51 and a 10-yard split, and has made plays in major college, right? Made plays. So, any thoughts on Thornton? Have y'all seen him play or know anything about him?
Go ahead, Black.
I was about to say no, I haven't.
Okay. Yeah, for with Donte, I think one of the things that might be his year one assignment is helping to stretch the field. You know what I'm saying? If Tre's not, doing that, asked to do that, because I think both of those guys can do that.
Right.
But I think Donte, that might be his first year assignment. Because to be honest with you, one of the knocks that I think I have on him is his routes. I didn't see enough of, you know what I'm saying? I think he pretty much ran 2 routes when he was in college. When you look at his highlight tape, it was a streak in a post.
Tennessee. That Tennessee. That's all I got to say. No. They're hard to watch on tape because they don't ask anything of their players. They're especially some of the receivers, right? Like half of them sometimes are not even involved in the route structure. The offense is weird, right? So it's hard to project from it typically because, like you said, they're not running like NFL style stuff, right? They're running some weird, gadgety, mirror the routes on each side, and they're predetermining who the ball is going to before the snap and all kind of stuff. It's like,
Yeah, and I think and that might be why they felt cool with that, pulling the trigger on him. You know what I'm saying? At that time, it was like, dude, 6'5", 4'3". You know what I'm saying? If he can't run routes, I know that he can run these two routes to start off, and we can add routes to him. Because I hope this is my hope for Donte, because I think he has exactly what we're looking for, and ultimately any team will want that. But I think the goal for him is to be, and I'm not going to say that he is that guy, but he's the body style of that guy, and that's like Megatron. You know what I'm saying? You get someone of that size and that speed, and then you can run routes. That becomes a real problem. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that the Raiders don't just, it might be his first year, you know what I'm saying, make him a one-trick pony, you know what I'm saying, his first year, but outside of that, he needs to be going all
moving
different directions,
around.
because
Yeah.
that's what makes it difficult for a defense. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
What would it look like if you had Donte Thornton out there and Tre Tucker out there at the same time? Right? And
Yeah.
it's not just the speed thing, right? But
No.
as a safety, I'm looking at two guys and I'm
Right.
like, okay,
Which one?
who's running the deep route?
Right. You're
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Tre's running the deep route. Oh, psych. You know what I'm saying? Then Dante's doing his thing, in somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So if he can develop the full route tree, I would say that he could be our number one wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Our big body X. You know what I'm saying? Type of player for us. So I hope he can grow into that.
Raider Legion says he blocks too.
Oh,
That's
and he better block. He's 6'5". Hey, I'm just saying, like,
hey,
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 look.
hey.
I ain't got time for these big guys
This
that
is a
can't
whole
do
new
anything.
world now. Okay.
Hey, look.
People
You
making
six
business
five,
decisions.
you 6'5", and you want to play wide receiver. Yeah, you need a block. But I'll say this with all of our wide receivers, even Tre Tucker. Tre Tucker is a blocker too. Even though he's small, he's willing to get in there and you know what I'm saying, and block. So
Yes.
I
Well,
think that's a good thing for us.
he's got the mentality of a wrestler because that's what he was, and I think it makes a difference. So we'll see if we can kind of take advantage of the physical capabilities that some of these guys have put together. A real threatening wide receiver core, right? But then the receiver core kind of keeps blending into other stuff. Shout out to my boy. All right, guy. What's up, Marcus Banks? Thanks for coming through, y'all. But like, now we gotta talk tight ends, man. Like,
Are we jumping there?
we going tight ends, man. Let's do
I,
this.
I, I got one more. I got one more wide receiver, man.
Oh, you got another receiver. What you got?
Yeah.
Franklin.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, look, if you guys watched any of my live, if you actually watched one of my lives, I talked about the UDFAs, and he's one of those ones that I feel like he might actually crack the 53.
Right.
He reminds me, and I hate to use 2.0s, but he really reminds me of Jakobi Meyers. And that's a compliment, because I love everything that Jakobi Meyers has done. You know what I'm saying? Being the number two wide receiver, and then having to, you know what I'm saying, take over for the number one and still be wide open. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Still get open. You know what I'm saying? So
Stay up.
if Zakari Franklin as a UDFA can step into that again, that's why, I said there's a lot of bodies, but there's competition, because I think Zakari Franklin is one of those guys that is going to be competition for some wide receivers, for real.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's probably in that last wide receiver slot fight, right? And I don't know. I mean, when you look at who we have here, let's see.
It's going to be tough because you think about, okay, I'll name the guys that I think that are already going to be on the team. You got Jakobi Meyers, obviously he's a vet. Tre Tucker, right? Jack
Right.
Bech is our. I believe he's ready to go. You just rip him out the plastic, give him a jersey, and let him
Right.
play. And then
Exactly.
you have behind that, who do you have? You have am I missing
Donte
somebody?
Thornton.
Donte Thornton, yes, of course. Then you have
We got rid of
Millet. You have Millet,
Tommy Mellott. Yeah, we have Tommy Mellott too.
right?
Yeah.
He's classified as a wide receiver, so obviously
Yeah.
they've already figured out. They've already have something in mind for him in the
Right.
season. So those are already 5 spots that are
Right. You
gone.
might keep 6, but yeah, that might be the whole roster right there. And then Franklin's on the practice squad or something, right? And then guys like Colin Johnson who never really developed over there. It's like, I think he started in
And
Chicago. Big guy.
he's another big body, just like Donte. So I think that's the competition there. Even though I don't know if it's really much of a competition, but body shape wise, those are the 2 big body wide receivers for us.
Right. Um, yeah, I think with Bech, Myers not being a small guy, Thornton, right? Um, I think you do need a little bit of versatility there. Something like a Mellott obviously has a much better chance than the depth guys like even Kyle Phillips or Colin Johnson or whatever, right? And, I think I've seen enough of Alex Bachman to understand what that is. Taking nothing away from him at all. Just saying. I'm cool on that. So I think if we can get, you know, a little bit of a breakout performance from Tre Tucker, because I really think he's already shown that he can do a lot of stuff we want him to do. But if we can get that, like your thinking might come around, then it's going to be a big deal. I think it's going to vault this offense to another place, right? But then, yeah, go ahead.
And I don't think to be honest with you, I really don't think it's going to take much for Tre. You know what I'm saying? Back to the first thing that I said in regards to Tre was the lack of quarterback play. We know that Geno will let it fly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if you let Geno have the opportunity to let it fly, I think Tre's going to do what he does. He's just going to catch the ball that wasn't given to him last year.
Right. And he will catch it. He'll lay out for it. We've seen that, right? Yeah. So I think you offended Detroit God, though, because he said, I get the size, but comparing somebody to Megatron, that's a stretch. But I do like the way that the young man works out and practices hard. It's all about your mental attitude. So,
Detroit, I'm not saying that he is going to be Megatron. I'm just saying the body shape of him, you know what I'm saying? That's where he should be trying to work up to
right.
a big body wide receiver that can run all the routes instead of just 1 or 2 routes that we pretty much have seen. If you go back on YouTube and check out his highlights, pretty much he runs pretty much 2 routes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we need to see more routes from him. And if he can perfect that, then he can be, you know what I'm saying, he can work up to being somebody like a Megatron.
He said, what team sucks about Janty with Thornton on the field? If he start commanding that kind of respect, we cooking with grease. that's a I mean, that's the thing about speed, right? That's why we always believed in this concept, because it doesn't take long for it to affect everything, right? If you do actually have to, not stack the box because you're worried about us running behind you, wow. I mean, what does that mean for Genty? Like,
If they're stacking the box, that means our O line is actually doing its job.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that on both sides. So, it looks good, the inside out game, you know what I'm saying? Oh, run it with Jincy on, inside, and then, if they want to, stack the box and throw it over their head. But both of those options have to be legit in order for it to be a threat. So it
Right.
can't be like, oh, the running game is good and our passing
Mm-hmm.
game sucks. Then obviously they're going to pass.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously they're going to stack the box. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Mm-hmm.
if Gino, I'm not saying he does this every game, but at least put it on tape that he can give it to everybody. Wide receiver wise or pass catcher wise, then that's
Mm-hmm.
going to open it up even more for the running back. So that's where it goes hand in hand. But both of those things got to be real.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's absolutely true. Like, we got to be able to do both those things. I think what's interesting is that we actually are probably going to be a team that is middle out oriented or whatever, right? Like,
Uh,
Brock Bowers is going to eat, right? Which is probably meaning that they have to do other things coverage wise. And they mean, stacking the box is probably a necessity. So, like, deep pass catchers probably not going to have much resistance back there, right? I mean, you got to stop Genty and Bowers. First job, right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Like Black, right? Like Genty Bowers is the first priority, and then whatever happens deep, I guess you just got to live with it, right? Like,
Yeah. Our offense is young though. We got to remember that our offense is kind of young now at the skill position. The running back, the wide receiver core, like a lot of these receivers are going to be either rookies or 1 year players, or Tre Tucker. This would be his third season. So they're young. So, but the good thing about it, they have a good experienced quarterback that could throw them open, that's accurate. And so it's just up to them to like be catchers of the ball, So I think if they could just do that, we'll be all right, because we're 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 rebuilding an offense from the trash, you know what I'm saying? But we ended up being able to get some good stuff. So we're thin, we could probably compete, but we're thin, you know what I'm saying, at those positions. So hopefully this would be a good year for us to kind of catch fire, at the end, like towards the end, because I just think we're gonna mesh with the new players, these young players, earlier in the season, because we do have a young offense. Because I don't know if they stacking up box against Genty yet. They might not start stacking up box to like week 6, week
right. Till
7.
they prove it, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't
Well, they
know,
might
but
we won.
Bowers gonna probably do his thing, and he gonna end up like getting people open because of the gravity that he pull, and then Genty being able to be a effective ball carrier. That's gonna keep defenses honest. Last year, defenses did not have to be honest with us. They just pinned their ears back and tore up all our quarterbacks. That's all they did.
Right. 100 for real. Man, we was making great pass rushers out of mediocre players because we could not run the football at all.
Yeah.
Basically, oh, man.
Every week we was like, who is this guy?
Mm.
Why haven't I heard of this guy? Why is he killing us? Who is this guy? I need to go back and look at film.
You're like Golden, really? Okay, Marcus Golden is whooping on us today. Okay, cool. um, shout out to Marcus Golden. I'm just saying, like, damn,
Right.
getting dominated, right? Um, Raider fan for life. Good to hear. Good to hear. Raider Laker. So smart man. I hope there's a Dodger in there. What the hell?
No.
Okay. Anyway, we'll let that go. Um, he said he can't stand the Lions, a tiger, or a bear. That's what I'm fucking talking about. That's it. Um, so Brock Bowers, year two. Year two, right? Um, that was special, right? He's probably gonna be better. He's probably gonna be better. But I mean, this is we're lucky. That's the best way to put it. We're lucky to see this. Um, you go back and look at the tape now from last year. It's even more impressive the second time through. Uh, he's going to be a problem, like a real problem, because he was a rookie, and I think he might have been the best tight end in the NFL last year.
And you know what's crazy about it, bro, is that he was a rookie, and we know rookies, first thing they're trying to do their first year is just figure things out.
Right. He don't even know where the locker room is, where he can get his laundry done. Right. Like he got all kind of other stuff in his head. He got to learn the playbook. Like this year, everything's set. Exactly. Got his routine. Bro.
Well, he's gonna have to learn another playbook, but still, it's just he's a year in. You know what I'm saying? He knows what it's gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? He knows what NFL football looks like. You know what I'm saying? And there's a comfortability when you're in a situation and you know what's going on around you. You know what I'm saying? And for him to do that when he still was trying to figure it out, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shout out to the people showing up from Facebook. Thank you. But yeah, man, like
Facebook.
Yeah, but best believe teams they're scheming up against Brock Bowers this year. If he does have a better season than he had last year, he's going to be a whole problem his whole career.
Right.
And if the league don't catch up with him by year 3, then yeah, you're seeing something extraordinarily special. But it's going to be interesting to see because they're going to scheme for him this year because he ain't no surprises this year.
No,
they had no answer. They had no answers for it last year.
Yeah.
We'll see what they come up with now. Because I guess their only solution was to put your best receiver on them. Like your best receiver got to guard the tight end now.
Yeah, corner. Yeah,
I mean the corner.
Putting number one corner. That's how the infamous booger picker interception happened. So that was a rough one. So there's not just Bowers, right? There's Mayer.
Huh.
He's still here. Not traded, just like I said, he wasn't going to be traded.
Folks be forgetting about him.
I try.
I know you've got problems with his mentals.
I don't.
Mentals or something. I don't know. He took a vacation. I don't know what happened. Okay.
I ain't tripping on that at all.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't tripping on that. I just think, man, this fool Bowers make him look like.
See, you can't.
No, I understand that because they do different things. Like I get it. Like he catch the ball sometimes. It was time, man. Mayer is all right. Like he cool. He one of them. He one of them tight ends. Like if he had to start, it's gonna be a huge drop off.
Well, yeah, but that's because it's Bowers.
Yeah, but now there's still some tight end. Like Mayer is like at the bottom half of the middle of the pack.
Right. With the potential to rise to the top of the middle.
Okay.
He could definitely be top of the middle of the pack.
Not if you running an offense with your tight end that can really get up the field. He can't really get up the field like that.
No. He wouldn't be the focus. He's more like a complementary piece,
So, hey.
Guy, tough, can block and catch.
You know what? I believe in Michael Mayer, and the reason why I believe in Michael Mayer is because he's a different style of tight end versus someone like a Brock Bowers. Now they may ask for them to do some of the same things, and of course it's going to look a little different. But I think I think in honesty, I think he could be a start if he was the only tight end on another team, he would be a starting tight end.
I don't know, but I don't know about that. Not with the tight ends in the league now. But I don't expect him to play the same. Let me give y'all an example of what I'm talking about. Remember when Gronk and Aaron Hernandez was on the field? They did not play the same. They did not play the same way. They was two different tight ends. Now, if you took Aaron Hernandez off the field, you still can compete with Gronk. If you took Gronk off the field, you still could compete with Aaron Hernandez. So that's why I'm saying, like, Mayer don't give me that, oh, he's a threat too with Mayer, because once they start tattooing Bowers, if Mayer could get crazy on him too, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to do it all game. You just got to be able to have the ability to do it. But looking at him and knowing, like, bro, we're not going to scheme for him at all. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And if he was in the upper part of the middle of the pack, then talking about potential, yeah, the potential is there, because now Brock Bowers getting all the attention, and here go him going right up the seam. He get 2 or 3 catches, you know what I'm saying, 50 yards, 40 yards, whatever. The numbers ain't jumping off the page. Couple touchdowns, you know, everybody guarding him, Mayer in the back of the end zone open. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you supposed to use him, make it a threat at every spot. But I don't know if it's going to be 2 tight ends on the field anyway, based on the Chip Kelly offense, because I thought I heard he liked receivers, and more receivers.
He does have a love for the receiver position, but he does adapt based on the roster. So, like, we're not done at tight end.
Yeah, you ain't got to do nothing.
Michael Mayer has a competition for number 2 tight end, guys.
Man, somebody can come in and take that boy job.
Ian Thomas. Guys.
That's the free agent, right?
Yep.
Let me see. I don't even know this guy.
So we signed him from the Panthers, okay? And Ian Thomas is an interesting player because he's physically gifted, has been productive, 6'4", 260, right? You know, did he do a lot the last couple of years? No, but he's had some significant production in this league, right?
Man, this boy been in the league for hella long.
Right. True veteran. So he might push Mayer, you know, for that backup tight end position. Then we got, you know, Justin Shorter, and
this year 8 for him. This boy been going down every year since he got in the league. And, well, nah, let me.
He had some good seasons.
Well, he ain't had a touchdown in 4 years.
The Panthers, man. I mean, like, dang.
But you ain't had a touchdown in 4 years. You had 2 touchdowns. You only had 4 touchdowns your whole career. Let's start there. So, I mean, like, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, this ain't. I'm going with Mayer. I'll rock with Mayer before I rock with this. I mean, like, for real, unless Mayer get to, like, really, really tripping.
So, you know, is Ian Thomas ever going to be the number 1 tight end for your team, and you're happy about that?
No.
Probably not. Right?
No.
But he's been kind of that other guy, you know, a lot of times. And so he can fill in that other guy duty, right?
He must have been hurt last year because he only played in 5 games.
Correct. It's fine. I mean, what do you think about this Thomas Mayer? Just the, you know, behind.
I see him being. I see you know, Ian or whatever being that third guy.
This boy might not make it.
I really do. I think there's just. I look at it defensively, like Brock Bowers is about out there. Meyers out there.
Mm-hmm.
That becomes a, you know what I'm saying? Because we've seen Mayer catch the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was a time where Mayer was our number one tight end.
And nobody was complaining.
Wait a
You know
minute.
what I'm saying?
When was this? When was this?
The second before Brock Bowers got drafted, and then when Brock Bowers got drafted, everyone's like, "Why are we drafting a tight end? Where we got a tight end? We good at
Well,
tight
yeah.
end."
Well, no. I don't know if they were saying we was good there. We just drafted one, so we didn't know if he was good or not. And then when we got Bowers, the boy. I mean, like damn, like
Yeah, that was crazy.
yeah, that was crazy.
That was
So
crazy.
Justin Shorter, is that somebody we drafted this year?
No, he's the depth guy. We picked up a veteran, and then Kadir Ishmael's
How?
undrafted.
Where he play at?
Justin Shorter. Let's see.
Didn't he come in like he didn't even come in at the beginning of the season? It was like
No.
a mid-season pickup.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For us.
I don't even see no stats for this guy.
He is relatively young. I think he's like in his third year. Yeah, this is like year 3 for him.
Yeah, why don't you take somebody's job? That's what you come do.
I mean,
Because he was on the team, but he didn't get on the field.
Right.
Okay, yeah, come take somebody's job now.
I mean, it's entirely possible. Listen, he's physically gifted. Okay, like he's in the top percentile when you talk about like height and arm length and hand size and weight.
I think he has speed too.
Yeah, he's like a 4.55-ish guy for a tight end with that size. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be an issue because the thing is, too big for the guys who are fast enough, and too fast for the guys who are big enough. Right. Pause.
I think I did.
Boy, Michael Myers.
I think there was a preseason that I actually did see him, and I was getting confused because I thought that, like, just the way he was running, I thought he was a wide receiver, but they're like, no, he's a tight end.
Right.
And that was shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, potential there too. I won't sleep on too much. And then Kadir Ishmael obviously is related to the Ishmael family.
Oh yeah.
I think he is the
what he run.
That's a good question. Let's take a look at Kadir and what he did.
First of all, he a tight end, so you already done messed up because all your uncles and all them was wide receivers.
He said, "I can't tell. Listen, I'm 6'7". He's 6'7". That's only so much. He had to play something to go with the 6'7".
Damn,
6'7", like 235.
Oh yeah, but so what's his 40 time?
Let's see.
Like a rocket.
A boy like a boy
okay,
over there.
So it looks like he ran a 4.69.
Oh no, that ain't. I mean, for a tight end, I guess what Brock Bowers run? He run like a 4.69. He ain't even that fast. Brock Bowers ain't that fast.
No, yes he is.
What do you run?
He just don't look as fast.
He run? I think he run like a 4.6.
No, they're reported at Georgia. He was that dude. 4.45s and some people.
But he didn't run the combine.
No, because he had a pulled hamstring or some shit. He's like, he didn't run. He tried to run anyway. They're like, stop. But yeah, no, he was one of the faster players on the team.
He don't even look like one of them Ishmaels.
He don't look like an Ishmael.
He don't. They was dark skinned and bald head, all of them.
And quick, fast body. Like,
right.
6'7", lanky, look like he's playing a little basketball or something. So, yeah.
That's cool, though.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, 6'7" is something.
Yeah, 6'7" is up there, though.
Yeah, so maybe
that's kind of big.
Yeah, you can make an impact that way. But obviously, this group is about Brock Bowers, right? And then what you're going to get out of Jakobi Meyers is he returns to kind of try to
Everybody
redeem
on the
himself,
side, everybody on the sideline with it.
right?
Hey, this
So,
is Brock Bowers running 4.53. Okay.
okay, yeah, I think that was with a bad hammy. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't care. It's good. I don't need you to run no 4.4, nigga. Not my tight end. I don't need my tight end running a 4.4. That's crazy work.
Vernon Davis. So the running backs catch the ball too, especially in this modern NFL, and say that they are considered pass catchers in their own right. But a little bit of time to talk about them before we get out of here. Let's catch up on comments too. So you're going to stack the box, try to get Genty, then you're going to have to play one-on-one coverage against the receivers. Facts. Which is an issue.
So that's not. So what's going to happen this first year though? They're not gonna adjust week to week on Genty like that this first year. He just gonna have to make a believer out of him, and then they come back next year and then start doing all that. What's gonna happen is they're gonna play the Raiders defense offense honest. And what I mean by like they're gonna keep them honest, like we might see like a lot of cover 2, because we saw a lot of cover 1 this year because they only need one safety because we wasn't throwing the ball hella far down the field. So we're going to see a lot of defenses stand in areas to stop Bowers and the run. And Jakobi, you got to respect it. And then these new young receivers coming in, you got to play them honest. So you can't really just start being like, okay, well, we're going to start stacking a box on them. And then that's gonna help Gino because Gino gonna be like, great. Like
Okay.
y'all can't have one safety on me all game. I'm gonna just throw it all over the field now. Like,
Yeah.
like that's not gonna happen. So we're gonna see a lot of honest defense. And I mean, and then if Genty do just burn them like this year, like if he do come out and have like 1,300 yards, like y'all said,
1,600.
then next year you're going to start seeing more of what you're talking about. So I'm not saying that your point is wrong. What I'm saying is you just a light year early because they got to make a believer out of them first. You know what I'm saying? You got to. Your college reputation don't follow you into the league.
True that. We'll see how long it takes.
I mean, not most players. No, I would say probably no player because even like Charles Woodson and them, they have to prove that.
You gotta prove that, yeah.
They just prove it fast. That's all.
Yeah. Ask Jake Plummer how long it took him to prove it.
Yeah, because even Peyton Manning, when his rookie year, they was like, we know he's gonna be good, but he had to prove himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
That boy couldn't even throw from here to the floor, and he had to win that second Super Bowl. He couldn't have Eli have more Super Bowls than him, and he was supposed to be up here, and Eli supposed to be down here.
Man, remember when Manning couldn't beat Florida? Anyway, that was the narrative.
But
he can't beat Florida.
Yeah,
no good.
But as far as our running backs coming out the backfield, we don't really traditionally use our running backs out the backfield. I could see it being something that we can use this year. And they say Genty is a catcher. He catches the ball, so
Genty is not. Yeah, he can catch the ball. He's not Christian McCaffrey where he's like in a slot eating up your corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, but as a running back, period, like that kind of stuff, like he can get some stuff done, right?
Check down. I'm gonna ask you just to get the check down and don't get caught slipping like Reggie Bush.
He's very smart in the screen game, patient. You know what I'm saying? Like hard to bring down. And then, the arrow routes, he might take an arrow route house road, like that kind of stuff, right? Now, he not lying. I mean, you could, like, as he develops down the road, he can do some Camaro type stuff, right?
No, we don't need that.
We're
cool on
and
that.
And then Raheem Mostert, not really known as your pass catcher, kind of out of the backfield. So I think he, that could be an issue. This team's not able to kind of lock in when he's on. Like, oh, they're probably running the football.
That's not
But
bad.
then
Okay.
Sincere McCormick.
I forgot him.
What do you guys think of him coming back? You know what I mean? Like, I thought he pretty much he showed out before he got injured last year,
No.
and then there's an injury, and then he's gone.
It's
right? So he had like a quick little. But like, I think as a backup running back or whatever, competing with Mostert or whatever, like he can do some stuff. Like he might start to kind of really solidify himself as a NFL player is going to be around and make some noise and be on the roster for a while. Your thoughts on that? Tom?
About Mostert? No comment.
Oh wow. Black, Sincere McCormick. You got any thoughts about him or?
Oh yeah, Sincere McCormick.
Yeah, I thought he played pretty well last year when he got.
Yeah, for sure, he good. Yeah, he Gucci. I like him. He earned some shine. You know, he ran one. He ran one back, didn't he?
That was a Lowy, who's still here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then there's our favorite returning player, Zamir White.
Zeus.
Yeah, that's my no comment right there. No comment.
That boy might not even make the squad.
I'm hoping Chris Collier go ahead and take that boy's job.
Sincere McCormick. He was on a lot of different special teams too, so we got to keep him.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, he's good on special teams, and he had that kind of breakout. So I think Sincere McCormick can do some things for us. And then we brought in Chris Collier at the end of the season. Really get to see a lot of them.
Sincere McCormick, I'm tripping. He was the running back.
Yeah,
I'm tripping. Yeah, no, for sure, man. He earned. See, he kept ended up barely getting a roster spot or not getting a roster spot. When they pulled him up off, he wasn't getting a roster spot, and it was putting him up off the practice squad. This year, I think he should get a roster spot, but I know it don't kind of work like that because it's a new regime in there. But I'm hoping he gets a roster spot for sure.
Yeah. I think he is competing for running back 2 with most.
He better.
Okay. And that those 3 are probably like almost guaranteed to make the roster. Then you probably 2 more because it's running backs, right? 4 or 5, which means at that point, right? Then you might be keeping everybody on this list. Keep 5.
5 what? Running backs? Hell no. Get them fools out of here.
Depends.
We need 3. That's it. 3.
Special teams.
Hell no. You be better off having more receivers than running backs because y'all got this dude that's making more money than they said that boy is making more money than when I saw that video, they said he's making more money than Derrick Henry.
Yeah, he's got a nice little contract for.
Yeah, man.
And it's mostly guaranteed.
We don't need we need Mostert since we got him, so we signed him for whatever reason, whatever. Veteran running back, I get it. And then Sincere do his thing. Yep, that's it. That's all we need. And Sincere, you might get 2 carries a game, but that's cool. And then you work Mostert in for the third back, third down. But if he ain't a catch out the backfield, what the hell we got him for? Because he'll get you a couple yards.
He's supposed to do Mostert stuff where he just busts a 60-yard run, that sort of thing.
Right.
Right. I think we want some explosiveness out of the running game. Obviously, by the time we brought in Mostert, pretty clear that we're out on Zamir White, and so we needed something. So you go to the draft and not be desperate. And There you go, Raheem Mostert, right?
What you think, Twan?
They're carrying 4.
4. So who's the odd man out?
I got obviously Jency's now. Jency's there. Moster's going to be there.
Now you got McCormick, White, and Collier.
Oh yeah, Zamir White out of there. Collier out of there.
We lost him for a second. Let's bring him back in.
Yeah, they out of there. Them two out of there.
McCormick and White.
McCormick and White out of there.
I don't even know who Collier is.
Chris Collier.
He
was a Ravens running back before we picked him up last year.
Oh yeah, another one of them. One of them 4 carries last year, guys. Let me see. Boy had 4 carries last year. Y'all talking about he gonna take somebody's job.
You know, you gotta start somewhere.
And I know people are going to hate that, but yeah, Samir's making the team.
For what?
Unless they bring somebody else in.
Yeah, he's saying the 4 backs are going to be Sincere, Mostert, Zamir, and Genty. Mm-hmm. It's hard to argue that. I don't see enough for Zamir White.
They might.
That's in my life.
This boy has 65 carries for 183 yards. Shut the front door. 1 touchdown. Is y'all playing with my mind or what?
I mean,
Hold on. Keep in mind that the best running back in the league had 4-5 games with over 200. No, I won't say 4-5. Let's say 3. I know he had 2 for sure. That boy had 183 yards in more games than this. Come on, man. 1 touchdown, 183, 65 carries. I'm not seeing this, Zamir. You gotta go.
Was that Zamir?
Oh yeah, that's Zamir White.
Whew. Man. Jeez.
That's terrible. That's terrible. What's that? 2.8 yards a carry? But hey, he played 17 games the year before that, got 104 carries, got 455 yards. That was a little better. 1 touchdown. So 1 fumble. Last year he had 2 fumbles. So my thing is this. When y'all say that these players gonna do something, and I'll be like, where? Well, how do y'all project that when I never thought Zamir was that guy to begin with.
Man.
His rookie year, 17 carries, played 14 games, 70 yards. Bro. You only got 2 touchdowns your whole career. You ain't bro, a rookie can come in and do that. Nigga, Sincere can come. Let's see what Sincere had. I bet you Sincere numbers was better. And I'm not even a stats latent type guy. You know what I'm saying? But when you at the bottom of the barrel, that's kind of all you have to go off of. Because you ain't got no tape.
Detroit guy says, when you have a mentally capable quarterback who's not going to go in there and panic and not wipe his butt from the back to the front, the ball's going to come out faster, which maximizes the offense.
Yeah, but you know what our problems was? Drop balls. When we had a competent quarterback doing that, we was dropping balls. For 2 years straight, we could act like we couldn't catch a fucking nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
We had all kind of receivers dropping balls. It wasn't just one kind.
Nah, including
even Devontae Adams was dropping
just to confirm, DA was over here dropping cases left and right. You gonna charge anybody?
For real.
Because I've been watching the Raiders quarterback since Jim Plunkett, and only feasible quarterback that we had after that was Rich Gannon. It's going to be comforting.
So
Yeah, to have a quarterback that can compete.
So this boy Zamir White had played 5 games, had 39 carries, and had 183 yards. No touchdowns, but that's comparable to what Zamir White did in how many games? Zamir White, I said he played in. That boy only played in 5 games. Zamir White played in like 14 games or something like that.
He didn't play. He played a lot of games. Yeah, he was not good.
Oh no, he didn't play 14 games because he got snatched up halfway through the season for Samir. So he played 8 games.
Okay.
Yeah, but so that's still 3 games difference though. But the person who did that matched your numbers was on the practice squad. That is crazy. Like how you lucky you even be on this roster right now.
Mm-hmm. Snoop Hernandez makes
Sincere, I think Sincere takes his job.
Really? Yeah. No, you're right.
I think that Thomas is a blocking tight end.
Yeah, definitely blocking tight end.
That's good.
Catcher, right? That's also you can take Mayer's job, but like there is obviously the drop off between Mayer and him. It's like the little downgrades.
Yeah, because Mayer can at least catch the ball. He blocks sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Seems as Mayer needs to produce this season because the clock is ticking for sure. He needs
right.
This is a big season for him.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then the fact that Brock Bowers came in looking like how he came in, that clock started going like double time. It started going tick, 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 tick.
Right, now you're number 2 tight end, which means you could just get cut tomorrow.
And we know you're going to be the number 2 tight end for a while. Right. And you was out because of some personal issues. Like, Yeah.
Will y'all check that? Did he run a 4.6? Gronkowski? 4.65 or something like that. It's just that when you're Gronkowski size, man.
4.6 he was like what 6'7" or something like that.
Yeah, man, like 6'7".
It's like he was big like that. I bet you on the field that 4.6 was like a 4.5.
Mm-hmm. And then you got that momentum.
No, he might not even ran that fast because they was trying to kill him once he caught the ball. They was like,
yeah, they could catch up to him, but who cares?
You're already all the way down the field,
right? Shout out Chris. What's up?
What up, Chris?
Oh man, I don't know. So I think I don't think Zamir White makes the team. Honestly, I just feel like somehow he gonna get outplayed.
Right, by somebody. Now, if it's really just was the blocking scheme and all that, and he really just showed the promise that he really got, because that could happen too. Because he can come into camp motivated and all that, and then the blocking is precise. Maybe not perfect, but they know what they're doing. And they don't have to pass rush all the time because you got to give them some of that too. It's hard to run when, you know what I'm saying?
Right. When they expecting it.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing too, okay? Chip Kelly offense, more zone. Like zone. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work.
Oh yeah, well, I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry.
He struggles a little bit with recognizing where to run the football to. What do you think, Quan?
Zamir could disappear.
And you know the name that we haven't heard or hear?
What?
Lowby.
Dylan Lowby.
Right.
Zone monster.
Fumble Rooski himself.
That's messed up.
Listen. He was a rookie. Try to give him a little bit of a pass. Whole
And
new year.
can we look at stats?
Yeah.
How many carries versus how many fumbles?
Listen, it's not gonna look good. Okay, I think it's 2 for 2 or some.
Yeah, but he still should make the team.
You got one job.
He still should make the
Deal.
team though. Because
Right.
I mean, if it ain't nothing but special teams.
Right. Return the kick. That's all I gotta say.
But you said you wanted 3
what?
running backs.
Yeah, but it might be 4. They might carry 4.
5.
Yeah, they might carry 4.
5 running backs.
That's
5
too many.
I don't know what's over my laptop.
5 corners or whatever, right? And then, yeah, because we run in a cover 3, so how many corners do you really need?
Yeah, but if he drop a football in practice, football in preseason game or anything, he's going to the practice squad.
Oh yeah. No, he don't have no room for error.
It's okay. I'll say this because I believe this is what the coaching staff is going to do. They're going to forget about those fumbles. Right. But as soon as he fumbles in preseason or in practice, all of his passings are going to show up.
Back. Yeah, right. It's like he on parole.
Yeah, they're going to forget about it. They're going to give him a chance, but as soon as that ball hits the ground, they're going to remember all the film they saw of him dropping the ball.
It's not a great first impression. You know, the first 2 times you touch the football.
Not for McCaffrey 2.0. That's not my words. That was some other people's words.
It ain't mine.
Listen, still believe in Lowby, okay? McCaffrey 2.0 is nuts, but like, I still believe in the concept of what he can do. He does have that kind of receiver-esque stuff, and the Chip Kelly might fall in love with him. You know what I mean? For all we know, to get a camp. You start running receiver routes, and he can run the zone. He might be the more natural fit, besides Genty, who's just Genty. I mean, it's good to watch on tape. So those are the pass catchers, guys. Are we leaving anybody out?
And the reason why I wore this jersey.
Yeah, I was wondering what was up with that.
I wore it because we were going to talk about pass catching, and he was one of those guys that was a pass catcher.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but I know that we like Ashton Genty. A lot of us are high on Ashton Genty, but this guy right here made magic. You know what I'm saying? He pulled a rabbit out of a hat with the same offensive line that pretty much we're going to see with Ashton Genty. So there's a, as much as you may want to hate on him for things he probably said about us afterwards, but while he was here, he pulled magic out of his hat. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that yes, we can root for Ashton Genty, but I hope people don't have that misconception that he's going to go and pull magic out of his hat and save the day. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be the only one that's going to get it done. It's a team effort.
After what Josh Jacobs said happened when he was trying to negotiate a contract, what he offered us in that negotiation, I mean, I have no problem with him. He did everything he could to stay a Raider, right? He gave us the hometown discount and everything. But we had a we had a GM that I think like physically hates running backs. I don't know what a running back did to him in a past life, or how many boxes of cereal they pissed on, but he does not like them at all. So he's somewhere. Well, probably never be a GM again. Because he had two chances, and most people get one. But I think things have changed a little bit here. I'm happy to see that the running back a bit more.
Well, I mean, and it goes along with what it is crazy. Like you said, it's not just it wasn't just us. It was like pretty much the whole NFL. You started looking at all the top running backs of the top free agents last year running back, and what did they
Mm-hmm.
end up doing the year after that?
Mm-hmm.
All their
Playoffs.
teams went to the playoffs. All they, you know what I'm saying? They personally balled out, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're in love with running backs again. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's what happens when you know what I'm saying, do your girl dirty, and now she leveled up. You know what I'm saying? And now
Right.
you all in your feelings.
Right. Good analogy. Yeah, the running back interesting. I want to see how many of these young rookie guys make it to like a third contract, right?
Mm.
Um, because that's the issue you have with the running back, right? It's like running back, first contract, cool. Probably second contract, cool. Third contract, like now you're like 28. You want that big money for like 5 6 years.
Yeah, well,
That's
I
why
mean,
when Josh offered a 4 year reasonable, like nice deal, and we said no. So like, okay, okay,
yeah.
yeah.
It's
So
always it's always a touchy situation when you know you're a running back and you're close to 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? So especially if you're trying to be a lead back. Now you can be a
right.
rotational guy, you can be a backup. You know what I'm saying, at that age, but a lot of these organizations, I don't think they're willing to invest in a bell cow per se. You know
Hmm.
that's there unless he is an upper echelon running
Right.
back.
Top five guy or something. Yeah,
And
because you're looking at
still with that, that's a battle, right? Because Josh
right.
Jacobs was up there, Saquon Barkley was up there. Who was the other guy that was? There was another running back. Um, I'm drawing a blank on who the other running back was, but there was another running back that was trying to get money, and he had to go somewhere else.
Mm.
But
Well,
yeah,
Derrick Henry had a new location, so that was kind of a big deal moving to Baltimore. Um,
Mixing.
Joe
yes,
Mixon.
Mixon. Thank you,
There you go.
thank you. It was Mixon.
Hmm. Yeah, they went to Texans, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm. Big money compared to typical running back salary, but not really big money. Yeah.
but to the Bengals situation, we really understand what's going on over there, because they weren't trying to pay Joe Mixon, and now Trey Henderson is fighting to get some money.
He's like deuces, yo. This is the same old Bengals story, though. I thought this changed once they got Burrow and they went to the playoffs. So.
You would think, right? Oh, I actually have a quarterback that can actually win. You know what
Right,
I'm
I'm
saying?
at Super Bowl.
I think everybody can say confidently say that Joe Burrow is a Super Bowl caliber type of quarterback. You just
Yes,
need to put stuff around. You know what I'm saying?
right, and
Really put stuff
have a
around him.
lucky little bit of luck and the right talent. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
All right, just like he's definitely capable. I think he's in a conversation for top quarterback. I mean, it's between him and Mahomes, and you know him and Mahomes.
yeah.
I don't feel the same way about that boy in Buffalo as some people feel, but it's cool. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see how this all shakes out as we get closer to the season. If they have some additions and stuff to the roster, you know, but it's gonna be interesting. Like you said, preseason is gonna be real interesting to see how stuff shakes out. Probably won't see a ton of Geno Smith. Right? I don't think we'll see a ton of Geno Smith, but you never know.
What?
What? When?
Preseason?
In preseason.
Nah.
First game
You
of
need to
preseason
see
is gonna-
AOC whole ass.
That is the question. How will AOC end up looking?
That's the competition. Like there's really no competition for number one. So why even? You know what I'm saying?
No, the competition for number two, but you don't want to win it by default.
No, but I'm saying in regards to Geno Smith, like there's no need for him to go out there for preseason. Like preseason for me is competition. So if he's no competition, then why even have him out there? Now I understand, I know some coaches like to have them play the last game, you know what I'm saying, 2 series or whatever, whatever that. Okay, cool. But the rest of the preseason, we need to see what these quarterbacks is doing. We need to see if Cam Miller is actually really Miller time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because what are we going to do if, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to knock on wood early, but what if Geno goes down? We really need that person behind him to be ready to go.
No, that's over with. That's why I was saying earlier, we paper thin at all these positions because we had to rebuild a whole team, defense included.
Right. Yeah, but this is how I feel about it. If you lose your starting quarterback, the season, for all intents and purposes, is over.
Well, no, not if you got a competent backup.
Name the time that the backup won a Super Bowl.
Well, I know it happened, so let me think.
Nick Foles.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only time.
Well, that was recent. It ain't like it happened in the 80s. So, I mean, that ain't your best play. You don't want that to be the go-to. But let me see.
Most games, and then the league gets some tape. If you're that lucky. If we lose, we're done. Unless, and I'll make this the last point. I think we're gonna do quarterbacks next, guys.
We better.
And Shedeur Sanders. Sure seems like there's a lot of quarterbacks in Cleveland. He was the second quarterback pick by Cleveland last year in the draft. Second quarterback. I don't think he makes the roster.
If he don't make the roster, Cleveland's gonna be last place for the next 50 years.
Hey, if Shedeur don't make the roster, then I need Black to fly over to Cleveland and get some of that good for himself.
Y'all do realize we're talking about the Cleveland Browns, right? And quarterback. They already drafted 2 quarterbacks.
They must got some good over there.
They don't, though. I know somebody in Cleveland. I've been to Cleveland hella times, and it's not that.
Brandon Wheaton?
Bro, I get it. Shedeur probably like the best prospect out of college that they drafted. Like, but he was a 5th round pick. Like, they're not gonna be able to deny it, bro. I'm trying to tell you. They're not gonna be able to. They're not gonna be able to. They're not gonna be able to deny it, bro.
He got to go past Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel.
I don't see Pickett as a threat at all. So I think the competition really is if he can beat out Dylan Gabriel, which I think he can.
Then he'll become the third quarterback, and he'll get a couple snaps.
Yeah, Flacco going.
But he'll be on the roster. That's what I mean. Like he's not going.
Yeah, he's gonna
be on the roster. Dylan Gabriel though. Who says he's gonna beat out?
That's who's gonna get waived.
They picked Dylan Gabriel 2 rounds before Shedeur.
I don't care.
That's all I gotta say.
It don't matter.
We'll talk about it more.
I get what you're saying though. I do hear it.
That don't matter.
I just it don't make it.
I remember people said there's no way he falls out of the first round.
Yeah, it don't matter that they picked Gabriel 2 rounds before. Just as long as they didn't pick Shedeur there. You know what I'm saying? Like they wanted it. They probably wanted him.
This beef ain't over. That's all I gotta say.
No. Can I say this? I just find it real weird that all the other players in Colorado got drafted after Shedeur.
Well, yeah, they were supposed to though.
What win with that, guys?
Like the receivers they had was good though. You know what I'm saying? But they wasn't. They was 4th round. They was 4th round. I wouldn't say they was 5th round. Maybe you can get them in the 4th round, 4th and 5th round, maybe even 6th round. No, but Jimmy, don't call me Joe Horn Jr. That boy, I like him though. He like Tre Tucker. He a Tre Tucker type receiver.
He's nice.
I think he might be better than Tre Tucker too, though. Now I think about it.
Tucker got to go down in the 3rd round. 3rd round pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Jimmy Horn Jr. might be better than Tre Tucker.
And he went how many rounds after?
Oh, I don't know what round he went in, but
it was almost like they sent out a memo and said, okay, now it's okay to draft Colorado players.
They did.
Yeah, they said it's a 3-round penalty on everybody.
Yeah, because Deion was over there talking about, I'm going to have 2 players in the top 5. I'm going to have 2 players.
This had nothing to do with Deion. I mean, why would that?
I mean, my Louis luggage. Give my Louis luggage. They like Louis on sale 50% today. We did 50% of the 50% off. Like, damn, yo, Louis luggage is like 80% off right now. Like, dang, this ain't got no value now.
They told him his Louis came from Slauson.
All right.
They like that's a Chinese, and you have to pay the tariff.
Final.
Hey, look, we got to get better. Simple as that. We got to get better. This roster, saying it looks good. We can have the the dreams and hopes as we should. But when you start breaking down what happens if this one player gets hurt in this room, what if this player gets hurt in that room?
Yeah,
then you'll realize that this room is thin. You know what I'm saying? But in perspective, the things that we really needed for this team, it couldn't be addressed just in one off season. So I'm glad that they're building towards it, but we got some ways to go.
Fair. Black?
Yeah. I think we all right. We, like I was saying, like we paper thin in places, but we coming from the bottom of the bottom. So we just gonna have to thug it out this year, And I think we cool. I think we all right. We just paper thin. But it this year make Vegas an attractive place to be at. You know what I'm saying? People come play for Pete Carroll, especially if they mess around and get close to the playoffs, win 9 games or something like that. Yeah, because then that means we only like a player or 2 away.
Right. And, based on what the roster looks like, we got Chip Kelly. We might be seeing us score some points, y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
And if we do, it'll be attractive, right? You want to come play, for the team that's scoring points, whether it's on defense or offense, right? Defense, you let me gonna win because all we got to do is hold them under 30, right? So yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. But my final thoughts are: this is the best I've felt about the Raiders at this point of the year in a really long time. Does it mean anything? No, because it's really early.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know what that means anyway. And just me. But I like feeling this way.
Right.
And I don't want to let it go. I think it comes from having a football person who knows football things and a head coach who's good at coaching football as well. And then that person, he tells things to a quarterback who knows how to quarterback the ball to people at the same time. I'm proud of us. I really am. We're growing up. Now, can we make the playoffs, please?
Please.
Please.
I'm glad you said please at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll take the please. Oh,
So,
Trent Dilfer, Jeff
that's it.
Hostetler, Doug Williams, Jim Plunkett, Kurt Warner, all backups.
Kurt Warner was not a backup. He was in a grocery store and a world league player or something. Hostetler, yes, but yeah,
He didn't
okay.
win. He didn't win a Super Bowl, did he?
It is not a backup. Come on now, stop it. Neither is Doug Williams. I give you Trent Dilfer.
But what you're talking
Kinda.
about is a player, the starter get hurt in the middle of the season, and then the
Right.
backup come in and hold it down and win the
Hold
Super
it
Bowl.
down, right? Nope. None of the ones. Jeff Hostetler was the closest thing, and he only played one game, so 1 or 2 games. No, he played maybe 4 or 5 games that year for the Giants. So yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, get on out of here, guys. I think we did it.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yay!
Mustard!
Hey,
Let's go.
don't start that, Black. Hey, if Mostert scored a touchdown and the DJ
Right. Mustard!
Happening here.
Somebody got to do it.
Right.
Let's go.
That'd be crazy. Oh my god.
So, final thoughts. As I always say, stay positive. Right? It's early. Let's just believe. You know what I mean? Why not? Why not, guys? It could be this year. You never know. Just believe. And like my boy Black said, read in between the lines because that's where it's at, right here. Right? Shift it around. Get in there, okay?
Right.
And above all, stay hot.